Hello, my name's Ronan. You are most welcome to this game pit stop for Paris New Eden, a game designed by Ludovic Maublanc and Florian Grenier, published by Matagot, for 2 to 4 players taking around 45 minutes to play. In Paris New Eden, some sort of vegetation-based apocalypse has happened in Europe, and the trees and the greens have spread wild, and we are based in Paris, and we're looking to build up our own compound, deal with events, feed our survivors, and score the most points over the course of the 4 rounds or 4 seasons of this first year. On a player's turn, they're going to draft one of these dice from the board, and where they draft it from is going to be linked to another action they're going to take. The other thing they're going to consider is what survivor faces face up on these dice. So for example, if I took from over here from the restaurant, I can take this sage. That then comes into my workforce for this round, and because I'm going from the restaurant, I can take a can, which will help me feed my people when we get to that stage. When you take from the train station, you also get to take a supplementary token from up here and add it on, and they're going to help you do things depending upon what type of character they are. You just take one per die that you take. And when you take die, you take one at a time going around the table until all of them have gone. Over here in this central area, you're going to be able to claim tokens in the city centre. You can take the binoculars, which means you're going to go first. It will get you 2 points at the end of the game if you have it. You can take this baseball token. If you have this one, when it comes to drafting buildings, you'll win all ties. Or you can take equipment when you take a die with you. And then taking equipment is going to prepare you for the events which are to come ahead. Down here at this bridge, you're going to be able to take mission cards, and whenever you take a die from there, you draw 3 and you keep 1, and we'll come back to how mission cards work. The final area over here is the tower. Now there are 3 possible events in each round. When you take a die from the tower, you flip over an event that you don't like the look of, meaning there's only going to be 1 left at the end of the turn for people to deal with and hopefully score, and the first person to do it each turn gets to take this heroine token, which is going to let you deal with the event no matter what it is. So eventually all the dice will be taken off the board, and we're going to move on to the second part of each round, and that's the acquire buildings phase. We're going to start with the player with the most binoculars, and there are 5 sets of buildings in the game, and they're linked to the 5 different types of survivors and the tokens and dice you could have kept. We're going to start with Tinkerers, and everyone from the binoculars player is going to declare how strong they are in Tinkerers. Now you don't include any of the buildings you've built, it's just the things you've drafted this turn. I've got a strength of 1 here with this Tinkerer. I can add these wilds into my bid if I wish to. They can be any other type of survivor, but they're all only 1 use. So I could say, for example, I declare these 2 as a strength of 2. The player who's declared the most strength, with ties broken by a baseball bat first, and then from binocular player round from there, is going to get first choice of the buildings available. And in a 4-player game, 1 player is not going to get a building, and you must have a strength of at least 1 in order to take one. So what's on here? Well, with the Tinkerer buildings in particular, you're going to get special powers. For example, with this one, I can choose the card from the top of the deck rather than taking a building. Or I might choose to take this one, which has got a lot of Tinkerers on it. When I use dice, they're simply gone and they're of no use to me anymore. We'll then go through the brawlers, and again, I can add my wild. Now, you can add these different tokens. When you add one that's of some use, for example, if I'd use this farmer here, that would come in and be a farmer for me for the rest of the game. And while these wild tokens are very useful, they become slackers and they just go down at the bottom of any card, and they won't be of any use for you for the rest of the game, but you're still going to have to feed them. And when you look at the cards, as well as the powers and the things they give you, some of them come with these slackers, which you may want to avoid. After everyone's drafted all the cards and they've built up their tableau, we're then going to double check 1 set of our mission cards, because you get 2 different types. On one of them, it's going to ask you to have a particular set of survivors, in this case 2 Tinkerers and a Brawler and a Sage, which I've now got. That's why I drafted that building. And I will bring this card into play, and this one happens to come with 2 cans of food to help me feed my people. Okay, all that tableau building's done in the building phase. We're going to resolve the 1 event that is left over here. And that's going to tell us what type of equipped survivors we're going to need in order to score some points for doing this. Nothing negative from the event, just point scoring. And this one's a combination of 4 sages and healers. I've been collecting these books, which gives us 1, 2, 3 here with 4 books. But this heroine token counts as an equipped survivor of any type. All of these will be gone. So therefore I can count my 4, and I will get the 4 points onto my score for doing this event successfully. Finally, we're going to try and feed our people. With all of these added together, these useful survivors as well as these slackers, you update yourself on the population track. That's then going to tell you how many farmers you need to feed your people successfully. For every farmer that you're short, you can spend one of these cans you can collect during the game, but those are one use only. Once they're used, they are gone. If you do manage to feed all your people, you'll score points equal to the number of farmers that was required to do that. Once everyone's gone through the feeding, we're then going to clear up, re-roll these dice, add them all in, refresh the tokens, and go on through the 4 different seasons of the game. Once we get to the harder seasons on, in autumn and winter, you're going to get different events coming into play, and they're going to be tougher to face, but they're going to offer more points scoring opportunities. At the end, the final bit of point scoring you'll get is the other type of mission card. And these are going to give you particular things that you're going to want to try and achieve in order to score points at the end of the game. For example, in this one, if I have the most books, I'll score 6 points, which is why I was collecting particular ones here. You'll get most Tinkerer survivors, which might direct where you're trying to go with your buildings. You might get the least slackers, which sounds like a good thing to do, or possibly the most sages, or wherever it may be. You keep those missions secret and you score them at the end. You add them to the points you've scored for dealing with events and feeding your people. And whoever scored the most points at the end of the 4 seasons will be the winner of Paris New Eden. This has been a pit stop. For more videos like this, please check out the Dice Tower YouTube channel. For our opinions on games, please check out the Game Pit podcast, part of the Dice Tower Network. Thank you.